Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Raye's Days and LA Rays. So it has been a fun week. Ups and downs week. Let's go with that. It's been an ups and downs week. Some things that happened since I last talked to you. I went on a couple of auditions, which I'll have some stories about that in a little bit. And then my roommates had a housewarming party and it was gorgeous. Just check out this picture. Look, like there were lights, we sat outside, it was super, I think they call it like boho chic or whatever, but it was a lot of fun. I met a lot of new people, which was great. So I went to that. And then Sunday night, I helped out at an event for a nonprofit called Greenhouse Media and Productions. And every other month on Sunday night, they bring in a special guest to talk about the industry. And it is really neat, really informative. When I was a high school teacher, I would bring students out and we would center our trip around this event. This last one was a manager by the name of Eric Kritzer, and he had some really good information. And it also, I love hearing people's stories, and so it was cool to get to hear how he kind of started. And he manages some of top name talent here in LA, and so it was a lot of fun. Got to meet some more new people, which is always great to meet new people. And then Monday I went as an extra for a show, and I got to play a medical student. It was fun, a lot of hurry up and wait. So got there at 7:30, and I think I finally got used at 7 p.m. So like 12 hours of kind of hanging around. Left around 8 o'clock, and then I went straight to acting class. Y'all, I love my acting class. I love it. I love the people. I love the teachers. It's something I look forward to every week. And so anyways, that was a lot of fun as well. I've been trying to find an agent, mainly for commercial, but also theatrical. So if you're an agent and you're looking at this, let's talk. So that was a quick rundown of my week. And now it's time for the top 5 things I've learned this week. Number 1, shopping bags are not included. Okay, LA, they're not with it. So you go shopping, you have to pay extra money if you want to use the shopping bags there. So you have to remember to bring bags, which I didn't for the first couple of weeks that I was here. So it's like I'd be shopping and I'd be like carrying all this stuff because I left shopping bags at home. So now I try and remember to keep one in my trunk at all times. Number 2, there is no direct or quick way to get anywhere. When I first moved here, I would ask people all the time, you know, what's some advice that you would give? And they all said, traffic is terrible, get used to it. I'm kind of a weird person. I care about time, but I more care about direct routes. I don't like wasted trips or going out of my way for things. This is my opinion. Because California tries to preserve the look and the land of a lot of things, you have to go around so much. It's ridiculous. So it's like you go somewhere, and if it were a direct route, it'd be like 4 miles, but instead you got to go 13 because you got to like make a loop around. Everything does take a long time. Like for instance, I wanted to go to Chick-fil-A. There aren't that many here, and the Southern girl is dying. But I looked where I was, there was a Chick-fil-A and it was only 4 miles away, and I was so excited. And then I pulled it up on my map and it said it was 45 minutes to go 4 miles. I was not having it. So needless to say, I didn't get my Chick-fil-A. Number 3, hiking is not for the faint of heart. But there are a lot of mountains or hills or whatever you want to call them here. So I was like, I'm gonna go hiking, be that person. First off, you get to like the entrance of where you're gonna hike, and there's this sign. Rattlesnakes and coyotes, because it's wildlife or whatever. So that put me on edge. Like, I'm not gonna listen to music when there might be rattlesnakes around. What if I miss its little rattling and then you like get bit and you're on a mountainside and no one knows where you are. I also am like, do you hike in the middle of the heat of the day because they're probably all hiding? Or do you try and go at night where it's not as hot, but you know, the cooler it is, the more the creepy crawlies come out. And then there's treacherous ground. I've done some pretty fun like steep and things, but then I decided to go to Runyon Canyon Park, and y'all, I almost died a couple times. Like, I'm fine going up when it's steep going up, but then you have to come down when it's steep, and I still don't have that down to perfection. So I slid several times and like thought I was gonna die. After the second time of sliding, I was like, I'm done. I'm going back. Like, I didn't finish my full hour, but I didn't even care. So I turn around and I look, and it's like all this treacherous path I had come down. Now I got to go back up and do it. And I had a moment where I just didn't want to move. But I was like, Rachel, you will be stuck here forever. And so I was like, okay, Lord, like, I do not want to go forward. But obviously I had to. There's a spiritual lesson in there, right? There are a lot of times we don't want to move forward in life, but you have to. Like, life goes on. Speaking of lessons, here's a little something I recorded of a lesson from my very first hike. I'm here at Griffith Park, which apparently is really close to my house, and I had no idea, on the Skyline Trail. And as you can see, I'm up some point. There's many points here. As I was out here just walking, I was struck because I've never done this trail before, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm just kind of walking, and was reminded of that's what the Lord calls us to do, is just to walk by faith and not by sight. There were moments of me not sure what was going to happen around the bend or what was coming up, and the city part of me got a little freaked out when I saw a warning sign about rattlesnakes and coyotes. So I don't know what could be waiting around the bend. Could be a rattlesnake, could be a coyote, but who knows. But I did laugh because my sense of adventure pushed me on. I'm more desired to have an adventure and see what's around the bend, just around the river bend, as Pocahontas says. I want that to be my prayer, that my desire for what the Lord has for me in store around the bend outweighs my sense of fear, that I would never be held back because I'm afraid of what I can't see, but that I would trust the Lord with all my heart, and lean not on my own understanding, but know that following Him, my path will be straight, and even though it looks bendy and windy, that it is a straight path. So yeah, there's a couple of musings from the trail. Yep. Okay, so that's that. So hiking is not for the faint of heart, ever, but you can get some really good lessons out of it. Number 4, finding a job is harder than you think. Yeah, I have an adjunct professor position here, but I'm also trying to find some part-time work, and I keep hearing that I'm overqualified. Whatever. You think you could walk in and just get a job, but it's not so. Number 5, you have to face your fears at some point. One of the days this week, I had an audition. So, complete honesty, it was for a mom who's from the inner city. As much as I want to be able to play kind of the stereotypical black girl, especially one that's from the hood, I just can't. And I know that about myself now, and I'm confident in that. There were moments growing up where I was teased because people were like, you don't sound black, but that's just not a role that I can play or play easily. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna give it a go. So I get to the audition, and I'm sitting outside the room, and I can hear the director giving directions, because there weren't a ton on the sides that we were given. And the more he started talking and describing and like having her do things, the more I started panicking, because I realized like I couldn't do that. Like I didn't know how, and I was like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna make a fool out of myself. And he was a black director, so there's a little bit more pressure of like, ooh, like he probably knows what he's looking for. Like, you might be able to fake it with some other people, but not with your own people, you know? So there was another lady that came in for the audition, and I told her, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, but if they call, like, you can go before me. and I ran. I got out of there as fast as I could. I didn't go to the bathroom. I just bolted. I don't like doing things out of fear, but I did. And so then I was ashamed of myself because I was like, oh my gosh, I ran. How could I do that? But since then, I've had 2 other auditions with similar types. And I've just gone in there and I've tried. And you will have to face your fears at some point. And I know I'm probably going to have to do it again. And then there's something else that I'm not going to be comfortable with or going to be a little bit afraid of. And I'm going to have to do it again. So anyways, gotta face your fears at some point. Be it rattlesnakes or auditions or talking to that person you don't want to talk to. I hope you all have a wonderful week. And as Anna Green Gables said, tomorrow is a brand new day with no mistakes in it. Yet.